and he didn't feel that that was enough, and he wanted to impress me and try to get it over 155. Well, you know what that means. You probably experienced this as well. And when I was younger, whenever I was doing incrementally good, not that I was trading great because I was new, but the times that I would get in, be profitable, and then not hold the trade because I was either nervous or I second guessed myself, I would close the trade early. And then it would run in my favor. And if I just would have held on to it, it would have hit my target, and that would have been much more satisfying. But because it didn't happen that way, and it's just a typical thing for someone that's new. So if you experience this, or even someone that's never been consistently profitable, whenever you get a win, whether it be small or sizable, you don't really feel good about it because what's happening is new to you. You don't know where it's going. So you feel like you got to close the trade prematurely because you're afraid it's going to become a losing trade, and you really don't know where it's going to go, which is the reason why I teach all of you to learn to draw on liquidity. Where is it likely to go? If you don't have that, you're going to be a victim to your own emotions, and you'll psych yourself out. So yesterday morning, he got lucky on his first move. Actually made 831 on a short. Got out actually at a pretty decent location before it reversed and went higher. Now, if he was following the rules, that would have been it. That would have been it, and I wouldn't have been upset had he shown me just that, because the rules were, like, I have to be there. Like, I got to be there next to you. I want to observe what you're doing. No, that wasn't happening. He wanted to get in there and drive it. Well, he did. Went from 153.4, which was $3,400, towards the $9,000 you have to get to before you get funded. I guess that's what they call it. You pass the first phase combine. You drop down to 149,000 and some change. Now, that's nothing. Literally, I could sit there with him this week and tell him, look, go here, do this, do that, do this. And he'll push the button, and we can get right back up to that pre-Friday morning issue. It was very difficult for me not to go off the rails and like be more of a dad than ICT the coach. Like, I wanted to tell him, look, that was not something you do. And it could have been the entirety. Like, it could have been, well, I guess it couldn't have been really. Now I think about it. They have like a limit, and then they stop you. So whatever that limit, that threshold is, it keeps you, I guess, from doing more damage to whatever. But he didn't want to say anything to me, and that was the first tip off. So when I got up and I walked out and I saw him, he broke eye contact with me and grabbed all of his, his phone and stuff and started moving around. I'm like, he's not wanting to say anything to me. He's giving me a chance to get my bearings. I just woke up. No. A couple minutes later, he's still not saying anything. So I know right away, okay, what's going on? Is it the girlfriend? And no, it's not the girlfriend. Are we doing anything today? And I think he was hoping it was going to be the answer no. That would guess buy him some time over the weekend. No, we're going to look at the afternoon session. Let's go take a look at it. He goes, well, I want to talk to you about something, Dad. And I was like, oh yeah, what's that? He goes, I did good on the first move this morning. And I was like, you did good what? Like paper? Like you're watching tape reading? He goes, no, I actually did. It was 831. 831? Oh, wow. So I'm thinking, man, all right. Even though I wasn't there, I'm a little irritated by that. But then he goes, but I broke some rules. Rules, plural. So right away I'm thinking, okay, you lost the 830. Okay, big deal. I'm preparing myself for that. No, he just says, You got to take a look at it to see it. I was like, okay. So I saw it and I was like, okay, you gotta recognize this is the improper way of doing it. Number one, you're driving without someone next to you. Like you're under your provisions still. Okay, as a trader, you don't know what you're doing, and I appreciate your enthusiasm. I appreciate your excitement to try to do something, but this isn't a video game, and you don't really know what you're doing yet, which is the reason why I'm sitting next to you, explaining to you what it is that you should be seeing. And I'm evaluating when you want to do something, when you think it's about to be there in terms of a setup. That's why you're talking to me, telling me what you think you see, because then I will tell you that's not that. Wait for the next one. That's the whole purpose of me being next to you. I'm filtering what you think you're seeing. So I'm allowing for you to see it, observe it, but I'm also canceling out the ones that aren't not good. That's the reason why you were having 100% strike rate. That's the reason why you were going in, getting that move, and it's done, and it had next to no drawdown. You got lucky in the morning, and you had what would have been the largest win since you opened it up last Friday. You should have stopped right then and there and didn't do anything else. Why did you go back in? Now listen to the reasons, okay? I thought that it was going to keep moving and have a big range day on the daily chart. He saw relative equal lows, and he wanted to see it go down to take that out. And he kept trying to do that, not understanding that we had already traded down into a new week opening gap for the week. It had multiple attempts to go lower and was failing to do that. It was the chart basically I shared on Twitter. And the range that it would return back into would be that down move. It's going to trade up into what? Buy side liquidity or premium inefficiencies. So he kept trying and kept trying and kept trying. And he said he had one or two times where he tried to go long, but he was afraid to hold the long because he felt that those relative equal lows was going to be the one that they take out. So he kept pushing, and small little incremental slices took away the 831 and then took away the week of gains and progress that we were able to put onto it. And now he sits at 149. So I told him, I said, well, first and foremost, number one, the rule is this. You do not do this without me next to you. And he's like, that's not going to happen anymore. I know now. I'm not ready. And it makes me angry because I thought I could see it. And I was like, you're not going to learn it that quick. Like, this is exactly what all of you listening to me here in this Twitter space tend to do as well. You're just like that impatient person. Like when you're trying to show somebody, I'm a novice magician since I was a child. Okay, I've always enjoyed it. Do card tricks and coin tricks and all that kind of stuff. And invariably, I would always show somebody something, and there's just one guy in the crowd always that wants to pretend or show that they know how it was done. And they try to do it, and of course they fall on their face and look stupid. And then because they can't do it, then they attack you and say, well, it's really not any trick to it. It's this or that, whatever. That's a weak-minded person, okay? And everybody comes into trading as a weak-minded person. You're impatient. You want to rush to making money. You want to rush to do something right because you want to feel smart. You want to feel good about yourself. And my son is very results driven. Like he wants to get accolades early. He does well in the sports. He does well in his video games. He's done well academically. He just always wants to do better than everyone else. And that's kind of like ingrained in the DNA from me. Of all my children, he's that one. And I tried to explain to him, I said, listen, this is an industry, this is a thing, okay, that you can't do that in. As much as you're going to be feeling inside that you're going to be able to do that, with this, you won't. Believe me, it's hard for me to tell you that because you're my son, but I'm also telling you because, number one, I thought I was going to be the exception, and I wasn't the exception. And it's very difficult to accept that when it first happens, and you just had it slammed upside your forehead. Right now, you are at that point where most traders that are coming up either go completely into tilt, where they just turn into a gambler, and they don't look at this as they did it, they undid themselves. It isn't a system failure. It means that that was recklessness. And you need to understand that that was recklessness. You can't do these things and expect it to come out with good outcomes. So, to be honest with you, I don't even know how to pull up, the trades. And so if you guys are aware of how to do that, like, I don't know how to go back and look at, like, if we do a trade in paper trading on TradingView or your live trades, you can see the little executions and it tells you where. I don't know how to do that with the funded accounts. So if you can help me with that, I would love to be able to go back and see what he did. But I don't have that in front of me. I just know that this is the aftermath and this is what he's done. So I got to obviously help him next week to recoup that. But the mental aspects of having done so, he's feeling that. A little bit of embarrassment, a little bit of, his pride being bruised. And as much as it is not fun to see him go through it, when I see some of you come out and say, I did this to myself and I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I still did it and I feel like crap. And I always try to tell you, look, chin up. This is normal. Everybody goes through it. It's true still with my son, but it's different because it's my son. So it's a little weird. I kind of anticipated this coming because I'm pushing him into settings where that's going to happen. But I was hoping it would happen right where I was sitting next to him, and his overzealous nature, he just did it and I wasn't there. So, which is fine. I mean, he's 18. It's his prerogative. He can do that. But I told him, I said, listen, if you want to learn how to do this, you have to submit to this process, that this is the way I'm going to do it with you. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you to learning it from the videos alone. Now, I'm not really wanting you to go through it that way. It's not going to be the same as if me sitting next to you and I'm going to filter it and explain it to you. You'll be able to have that advantage that I'm not making available to everybody else because I'm not obligated to all of you. But I feel obligated to him because he's my son, he's my offspring. And I want him to be equipped to be just like and better than me. So he's had that first experience of undoing himself. He feels the shame, he feels the remorse, the regrets. And I want him to understand that that's normal. So you're going to have times when you're just going to do it. You're going to do that. You're going to feel confident about yourself. You're going to be overconfident. You're going to have a losing trade. Or you'll have that experience where you made money. It felt great. You want to do it again because you feel like it's going to move even more. And then you try to go back in again and it's not doing what you want it to do. And then now you got to go into fixing. You're starting to put fires out that you started yourself. But you don't realize it's not water that you're pouring on the fire. You're pouring gasoline on it. And it accelerates. And that wildfire spreads and it eats into not only the gain that you were unsatisfied with, but now it starts eating into equity that you worked hard for to build up. And then enter into drawdown. And that threshold, it's okay to lose what you made on a trading day. It's easy to tolerate that. It's just frustration. Yeah, it sucks a little bit. But then when you eat up what you worked for a week or a month or so, that really hurts. That's like a kick in the joint. You don't really like that. It sucks. And especially if you go into a weekend as a trader, that really really stings. And it takes the pleasure out of everything. Food don't taste as well. Friends, company, that irritates the shit out of you. Everything is heightened. And it feels like thorns. No comfort, no rest. And you punish yourself. He's feeling that. But when you get into drawdown, where you go beyond where you started, and you did it to yourself, and you just recklessly plunge in there trying to get it back quickly, and you just keep doing more damage. I think that's actually a good thing that the funded account companies have that threshold where they stop you. It's like you can't do anymore. That's it. You've done enough. And it makes you have to take a step back and reevaluate what you're doing. Now, he doesn't know why it didn't work. He just thought he saw the things that he's supposed to be looking for. What did he have wrong? Apart from going back in when he had a really respectful return, $831. That's a nice little return. That's actually above the range of target that I had set forth for him, saying, look, this is all you're trying to do. You're trying to do this, nothing else. You're not trying to get rich. You're not trying to blow it up. You're not trying to pass the combine in a week. You're not trying to pass it in 5 days. Okay. We set the pace for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That means next Friday, his target should have been reaching I guess it would be part 2 or phase 2 of it. And he was well on track with that. Now I got to go in and help him get back to that square one. And you might think, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. Well, it's my son. Don't tell me what the fuck to do. Okay. But I'm sharing something with you that I'm not obligated to share. But I want you to understand, just because he's my son, there isn't some kind of carryover because he has my DNA in him. He has every character flaw that a male has. Pride, arrogance, impatience. He wants to flex. That's in him. He's rushing to be able to flex. And now he's wrestling with that now. He's like, I blew it. And now I feel bad because we worked several days, and then now I got to go back and do that all over again. More specifically, I got to hear you tell me